Hi guys, it's Ben here from T-Rex Space Station. How's everyone doing? Sorry that I've not posted a video in a little while, but as you may know, I've just been in the process of moving house. So I've been kind of getting everything unpacked and getting used to my new surroundings, and it's taken me a little bit of time to get around to sort of getting back to YouTube. I've had to swap my internet across. There are no fibre optic cables in this area, so God knows how long this is going to take to upload. But nevertheless, I need to crack on with it and get going again with my YouTube channel. There's been a video going around, a really great question that was asked by Soulfunkretro. It was actually asked quite a few weeks ago now. I was kind of busy and didn't get around to replying, but even though I'm late to the party, I wanted to get on with it and answer it. The question is, what are the 3 most iconic gaming images to you? And it's kind of left as a non-specific thing, like you can pick a screenshot from a game or anything basically that relates to a game or that reminds you of gaming or that represents gaming. And I guess it was good to kind of think through what are those pictures in my head that take me back to a certain era or that conjure up old memories. Or really I chose nostalgic ones because, let's be honest, this is all about nostalgia, isn't it? I think the first one that I would pick would be a screenshot from the original Leisure Suit Larry game. That takes me back to, well, I was really young, far too young to be playing that game, but back to those days of the 286 gaming. And DOS-based gaming as well, and you know that was really where my video gaming interests took off. It was back then using DOS, and I think Leisure Suit Larry was a good example of a game because that not only started off my interest in video games, but it was kind of part of that interest that I had in Sierra point-and-click adventure games. I really loved those Sierra-based games, and I went on to be really fascinated with them and sort of try to get inside them. You can get this Scum VM engine and open up some of the LucasArts games. I also experimented with the engine that Leisure Suit Larry was made in. I've forgotten the name of that. Very limited colour palette, but that's what I like about it. It's those garish, sort of pinky, bluey, bright colours that it just takes me back to DOS in my head, and it takes me back to a really good time that makes me want to play it again. So I think that would have to be the first one. You know, I used to play a few other games on my dad's 286. We had Lemmings on there, and Mei Yong, Duke Nukem, Commander Keen. You know, the 286 really could run a lot of good games. I do remember though really wishing that I had a 486, because the 486 was what you needed to run Doom, I think. Without even a Pentium that you needed. But anyway, there were certain games that you couldn't run on a 286, and it seemed like such a big jump to be able to get a 486 and play those other games that my friends could. Actually, we skipped out the 486, and I remember we went from a 286 to a Pentium, which is a massive leap. You know, going into CD-ROM and all that stuff. It was just amazing. So yeah, Leisure Suit Larry, it's a great game. I've done a gameplay of it on my channel ages ago. It's bloody hard. It's old school, you got to type in the commands and all that kind of stuff, but a great game and a classic, and very rude and quite cheeky. The second one that I would pick would probably be the box art to the original Pokemon game, Pokemon Blue. I know that everybody's basically revisiting Pokemon Mania again now because of Pokemon Go, which I've played a little bit. It's not amazing. I don't get it exactly. It's not as good as the original games anyway. And of course, Pokemon Sun and Moon are coming out soon. But it was that one that really took hold of me in a big way. My friends all had it, and it was that kind of social element that game added. You know, I just wanted to beat my friends. I wanted to get a good squad together. We were training all the time and fighting each other and battling and all that stuff. And it was a perfect game. And it was, you know, one of the early RPGs that I got obsessed with. If you think about how limited the Game Boy hardware is, the things that they did on that system are just mind-blowing. And Pokemon is a great example of that. It's a big game, you know, 151 Pokemon to catch. I remember my friend got Mew from an event, and used to have that trick where you could duplicate Pokemon if you turned off the trade right at the last minute. So all of us had Mew, and it's just an iconic picture. Seeing the box art to that game, it makes me think, yeah, I want to go back to those times. I wish that I could feel that wonderment again about games. I mean, I do still get excited about them, but not in the same way as when you got the original Pokemon. That was just like, this is a big deal. And I played it to death. I really did play that game so much. Over 100 hours on my original thing. I think the battery is probably gone. I haven't dared look to see if my save file is still there, because I just know that it's not going to be, is it? And the third one then, I think I would probably choose a magazine cover, the cover to CVG. had to get muddled in my head there. Computer and video game. I don't read video game magazines anymore, but I did when I was at school, and again it was a social element. Like, it would come out every month, I think. On the way to school, we'd stop off at the local corner shop, which was called Turner's, near where I lived, and one of us would buy CVG, and I'd look through it all the damn time. And I didn't have that much money or that many games, and it was back when my imagination would take me a long way, so I'd literally just sit there looking at the pictures of the games and imagining what they play like, how they must be to have, thinking about what I would ask for Christmas and stuff. You know, games were pretty precious then. I didn't own that many. They weren't all that freely available. And it was just so exciting when we started to see like the PS1 games coming out on there, looking at the graphics of like how Tomb Raider was going to look and Resident Evil 2, and being like, oh my god guys, did you see that game in CVG? And it had loads of fun stuff in it. It had like art competitions, and it had high score challenges, it had loads of stupid stuff, it had a good sense of humour, and I kind of missed those days. It was a great magazine. I don't know if it's still going now. I think it might have stopped, or if it's not stopped, I've just not seen it around at all. But it was just a cracking magazine. And again, if I saw the front cover to one of those, it would just transport me straight back into primary school days, hanging out with my friend Stephen Pierce, he was called, and just make me reminisce about those days, you know, about how good a magazine that was. So those are my 3 most iconic gaming images. If you guys want to do a video response, I'll post a link to Soulfunkretro's original video in the comments below. Alright guys, take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.